Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game Romantic versus Happy. This game taking place here on Hammerfall. Let's go ahead and get to that 2-minute mark, get this game underway as Romantic open things up as the blue human player on the top left-hand side of the map. Altar of Kings, barracks followed by a farm. Meanwhile, down on the south side of the map, we have Happy opening things up with Altar of Darkness with Dreadlord first, and Crypt and Tomb of Relics. Dreadlord first, not necessarily the typical strategy you guys may have been expecting. I am definitely at a bit of a surprise as the Archmage makes his way out in order to do a bit of, well, creep clearing. Alright, 5-2-2 creep camp or 5-2-2-2 creep camp. Should be pretty easy to pick off, especially for those militia going after these reef elementals with medium armor. Down to the south here, Dreadlord going to open things up with a sleep on the Kobold Taskmaster, placing down some Blight, and then clearing out this 6 o'clock spot. Feels like Happy has, well, sold his Scroll of Town Portal and really embraced the expansion strategy in the meta as a way to, well, just try and figure out new ways to get ahead. I'm really liking to see the meta still continuing to develop after 20 plus years. Archmage going to go ahead and clear out this no boot camp, pick up a Ring of Superiority, already has Gloves of Haste, and is looking to finish off this creep camp here and perhaps make some rounds towards another, perhaps the 6 o'clock spot. Dreadlord, however, gets a sleep on a footman, and that's gotta be a horrible way to go. You're just running through the hills, and suddenly you, well, fall asleep. Not quite sure why. Something just comes over you, compels you to sleep like a Jedi mind trick, and when you wake up, you're completely surrounded by ghouls. Alright, tearing you apart. Kobold Taskmaster going to get finished off here. Archmage does pick up a Wand of Illusion. The Militia are going to finish off the remainder of these Troll Trappers here. 1 or 2 more shots there. There's that last Forest Troll Berserker as the Archmage will not get to level 3. Gets to level 3. I thought it was going to be just shy, but no, gets there with 2 extra experience. As the Archmage makes his way down, he's looking for, well, ways to punish Happy. Happy does have this Dreadlord off over here nearly at level 3. He knew that the Archmage was coming across here, and that is perhaps one of the reasons why we don't see any sort of expo. It really looked like Happy was trying to expo here, and as soon as Romantic noticed that his opponent was not trying to expand, he decided not to as well. Level 3 now on the Dreadlord. Archmage going to come across here, perhaps try and put some pressure down. Happy is taking the tier 2, as we can see, and this game really looking and playing much more like a StarCraft or StarCraft 2 game in terms of, well, figuring out what the opponent is doing and how to handle them. Dreadlord also running around the map fairly fast with those boots of speed. Footmen are trying to go after units here as the Archmage, well, places down or takes down a water elemental there. Archmage could be in a little bit of trouble. Is he going to be able to staff a teleportation out? That is not going to be able to be done. Going to go ahead and staff a teleportation. There you are, down to 158. There's a sleep. He gets temporary invulnerability and then using a Scroll of Town Portal in order to get away. Alright, Footmen need to try and get back, but, well, no man left behind. It doesn't really account for these units here as these Footmen are trying to retreat back now. Alright, Footmen needing to get away. Let's take a look. This Footman down to 98 hit points. It looks as though, well, as long as they keep on running, they'll be fine. Oh, one Footman actually getting in the way of the other, and now Happy may have enough for a sleep here to just try and finish it off. Remember, the Dreadlord is not normally a fast-moving unit, but with the help of those boots of speed, able to get in on those attacks quickly. Archmage of Romantic, well, currently in the pit, waiting to get repaired back up after taking a large amount of damage from that Dreadlord. Dreadlord with a couple of sleeps able to ensure that the Archmage is currently out of commission until that, well, Arcane Vault is done and able to get that Scroll of Regeneration. Tome of Intelligence, I'm trying to pick up some additional items. There is that Ritual Dagger getting in some heals across all of those units. Meanwhile, Archmage of Romantic. Well, not in that great of a spot. Needs to heal up a little bit more, but we are getting up a Mountain King. We are getting up a Lumber Mill, so we should be getting Knights here quickly. And is Romantic going to be playing a little bit of a spoiler maneuver here? Archmage coming back across here doesn't have a Scroll of Town Portal. This could be very bad news if the Dreadlord has a good amount of units to try and sleep with. There's damage getting racked up onto some of those units there. Is that Footman going to be able to finish it off? No, it is not. Mountain King comes running out of the gate, perhaps trying to figure out a way to do a little to do a little bit of sniping. Focus down a mounting or focus down a unit or two. Mountain King does not have the boots of speed. It didn't get transferred over, but we do see a surround onto the Dreadlord. Dreadlord is now going to get into a little bit of a foot race with that Mountain King. Mountain King needs to constantly be in front, try to trip up that mountain or trip up that Dreadlord. Archmage, well, Dreadlord says, I'll double back around and go the other way, and one more final shot gets the Dreadlord. Archmage just within range, temporarily able to land a fireball in the back of that Dreadlord, taking down the Dreadlord at level 3. A big deal right there. Mountain King, however, did not get any of that experience as the Mountain King looks to finish off this Forest Troll Warlord, picks up a Scroll of the Beast, and, well, I guess we'll finish off this Ogre Warrior as well. Water Elemental already on the move, perhaps trying to head over to the other laboratory. We are getting up dual Griffin Aviaries, and, well, one of the benefits of, well, what Frozen Throne is the ability to train up these Griffin Aviaries before you actually get to castle. So when the castle is done, well, you're able to immediately queue up those units. That seems to be what's in store for Romantic, who is sitting on 600 gold at only 23 supply. Rather low on supply right now. I am quite surprised by this, as the Archmage, well, checking things out around here, Archmage does have Boots of Speed, will be able to get away, trying to lob some attacks, but the Death Knight, well, too much of a threat alongside all of those ghouls. Dreadlord still waiting to be resurrected, needs a little bit more time. Meanwhile, we are done with the castle, and there's the Griffin Aviaries done. 200 and only 200 lumber. Are we going to start training up or trying to get more lumber here as well? As well, why are these? Oh, they're calling to arms. All right. So Archmage, Mountain King, going to head over to the 9 o'clock position, call to arms in this spot here, try to get a little bit more units out here on the battlefield as the Water Elemental going to go ahead and engage. Paladin was where that gold was being spent. If you're wondering why no Griffins were getting trained earlier, that's the reason why here, as the Barracks, not yet researching animal war training, but with the most recent, or with some of the recent patches, animal war training isn't as necessary as the well, read the patch. I'm not going to try and explain it. Coming on through dual Griffins, we are getting up a third Griffin for the air. Do we have Crypt Fiends down? No, we do not. Are we now going into Ghoul Frenzy? Mountain King does have level 2 for that Thunderclap, as the Griffins may go straight after the Obsidian statue. All right, a lot of damage there. Griffin going to get woken up. We're going to see a little bit of damage. There's another bit of point of damage. Level 4 now on the Archmage. Are we going to see perhaps a Thunderclap? No, we do not. Mountain King actually gets sleeped, and that was a tactical sleep right there to ensure the Mountain King didn't get another Stormbolt. I think a Thunderclap would have been perfect right in that situation, as the Paladin now makes his way over to try and help clear out this Void Walker creep camp. Another Ring of Superiority being dropped here. Archmage going to sit at level 4. Archmage does have that Orb of Fire, able to do a little bit more damage. Well, and prevent much of that healing on any target that the Archmage deems worthy. All right, Gloves of Haste picked up by the Mountain King. We're looking at a little bit of damage here. Mountain King finally woken up. Are we going to see a Stormbolt onto any unit? No, another Dreadlord sleep onto that Mountain King. Militia now looking to retreat back here. And both sides still have not set up an expo, and that's really what Romantic is looking for. Romantic is actually constantly scouting out Happy's game plan and trying to adopt to it, making sure that he doesn't really fall too far behind. Oh, that Crypt Fiend is going to be quickly sniped down, as you do not want those Crypt Fiends to reach critical mass at all. One Crypt Fiend already down there, unit getting lost in transit, trying to meet up with the Dreadlord, Death Knight, and Lich. All right, red creep camp about to get cleared up. This could be very bad news. Scroll of Town Portal. Are we going to see a lot of damage? There goes one ghoul. The Obsidian statues were not going to be targetable in time. Happy quickly moving those units back. Well, Tome of Knowledge. Knowledge lost forever here on right next to that waterfall. All right, what is the Archmage doing? Archmage, well, actually, in a difficult spot, it doesn't want to regroup. There's a Water Elemental, and here comes the Mountain King from the north. Stormbolt finding a ghoul here, and this is all really that's being done right now, trying to pick off low straggler units. Also, we are looking at Destroyers joining in on the battle, and as you all remember, Destroyers being magic immune of a very, well, powerful unit against mass Griffins, since the Griffins can't really do anything back. Romantic still training up more Griffins, saying, I really don't care, let me just go for as many Griffins as I can, as we're looking at the Gargantuan Sea Turtle easily getting focused down here. Archmage does have an Orb of Fire. Level 3 Water Elemental quickly gets taken down. Are we going to see these units all get finished off? Who's going to get the last shot there? He might have actually gotten the last shot. Meanwhile, we're looking at the Mountain King teleporting back here, and the Mountain King is actually taking a lot of damage. Staff of Sanctuary effect is still on the Mountain King. He does have an Ankh of Reincarnation, so that is a weird way. The Mountain King absorbing quite a bit of damage, using his health bar as a way to, well, absorb damage. There's a Thunderclap. There goes some more Crypt Fiends. And wow, I did not expect the Mountain King to get sent back home. I thought perhaps Romantic thought that there was more hit points on the Mountain King and he would be able to shake off that Staff of Sanctuary's healing stun, but that wasn't the case. Mountain King ends up using the Ankh of Reincarnation as the Destroyer now tries to, well, head away. No Dragonhawk. Well, Dragonhawk's now starting to be trained up here. Griffins looking for where to actually fight. No additional Orbs of Fire as the Undead army ready to sneak on in once more. All right. Undead army going to get here. 54 supply compared to 42. Happy's army is smaller. There's a Dreadlord. There's a Carrion Swarm, and that's a bunch of dead peasants already. Lich continuing to, well, follow it up here. One peasant dead. The peasant body count is already through the roof, and Romantic now pushing inside the main base instead. All right, not trying to push across on the other side here. Arcane Tower now feeding back damage onto the Lich. Both sides fighting across here. We're looking at ghouls getting taken down pretty quickly. There goes another ghoul as the Dragonhawk Rider is now showing up. Destroyer now with some Devour Magic. Mountain King now trying to retreat back. We need to see some more peasants get trained up and try and resaturate that gold mine. These peasants now going back to work as both sides are about to fight. 50 supply compared to 40. And yes, Romantic does have the supply advantage, trying to go after some of these units. All right, there's a Book of the Dead. There's a Shackle going down onto the Gargoyle. And this is just still not looking well. Carrion Swarm eating through many of those units' hit points as the Dreadlord now tries to retreat back. There goes a Thunderclap. All of the Book of the Dead units getting hit pretty hard, but there are still 3 Destroyers going up against, well, 5 Griffins. Stormbolt now onto the Death Knight. Death Knight could be in a little bit of trouble. Does have a potion of healing, uses it in time as we see a Holy Light right there. We're going to see a Staff of Sanctuary trying to retreat it back out. No, we are not, as we're still looking at a Stormbolt now going down onto the Lich. Lich now currently not in trouble after a Death Coil, even with the help of the other well, the Orb of Fire trying to prevent some of that heal. All right, Water Elemental trying to take things down. There goes a Death Knight, and that may be the tipping point needed to be reached. Without the Death Knight, no more burst heals, and the Archmage going straight after that Lich. Holy Light dealing the majority of the damage there, and Romantic in what I gotta say is one of the closest games I've seen between Romantic and Happy. Only a difference of 75 points between the two, and this is Happy with the higher hero score, but Romantic catching back up in the end with those last couple of hero kills. Strong GG right there. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.